What is up? Happy Thursday. Welcome back to the Culture and Cannabis podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Full-Time Tony, here with my guy, Jeffrey Coates.
What's up?
How we doing, sir?
Amazing. Incredible.
We just got back from LA, which we'll talk about later at the end of the show. We got a lot of exciting stuff. But today we have an incredible guest, someone who we just recently met on a new app called Clubhouse. But I'll let him do his own introduction. We got Scott. What's going on, Scott?
Strategic Scott.
Strategic Scott. What's up,
What's
G?
up,
How we
fellas?
doing?
Man, it's been a rough week, but I'm staying focused and trying to fight through any negativity and just kind of reach my goals. You know how it goes.
Yeah, no, I feel it, man. So give a quick background on who you are, what you do in the industry, where you're from. I mean, you're coast to coast, Scott. You're so many different things to so many different people. So let's dive into it real quick.
I guess kind of specifically to the industry, my main focus has been kind of working on event sponsors here in Colorado and doing a lot of product placement, things like this for events like the 420 festival, also my 420 tours. I worked a lot kind of curating a couple of their new experiences with Cushion Candies and just plugging in sponsors to a lot of their inventory on different classes and experiences at my 420 tours, and done a lot of product placement at action sports events like the X Games in Aspen and a bunch of other fun kind of behind the scenes things. But mainly I've kind of cut my teeth in sponsorship sales, vendor booth, kind of selling those types of activations. And it's been a lot of fun. And then once COVID happened, I kind of, didn't really know what to do. There was no events. So I started a very small, modest blog. I don't want anyone to think that, I'm high times or anything. I'll never claim to be that. But we started a small blog and we've gotten some, decent traffic. And then we're focused on global cannabis news, product reviews, creative spotlights. And then we just released our own line of CBD bath bombs and dropping some face masks actually next month. So pretty stoked on the products, and we're going to kind of be switching everything from a content-driven platform to really an e-com based site to really kind of drive sales and revenue
Nice.
for the business.
Man, you sound like an entrepreneur over there.
Yeah, you sound like someone that likes to move and shake.
Here's the thing. So all right, so you're selling event sponsorships. The COVID happens, and boom, you gotta make some pivots, right? And a lot of people didn't really make any pivots. A lot of people just was like, it's COVID, so I guess I'm just gonna pull the covers up, right? And not do anything, right? Just collect my unemployment. But I know a lot of those opportunities, it destroyed a lot of people. But some people were able to pivot, and you went straight into kind of like a content model thing, right? So you're at home, right? Let's explain that jump from the COVID business to this full-fledged, monster that you're building now. How does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been an investment. I took on a couple side projects. I white labeled some geofencing kind of advertising to a couple clients, and so I did a couple kind of side one-off projects, and then I just took that money, reinvested it. I haven't made any money from the content-driven side of things, and then I finally got an investor. The investor gave me some money to white label the products, and that's kind of where our revenue stream has been coming from. And I'm an affiliate with Green Lane now. We have a couple Vapor.com, and then also Vibes Papers we're an affiliate of. So we're reselling some products, making commissions off of affiliate programs, and then through the white labeling products that we have. So we're kind of just now started over the last 30 days, kind of starting to make money, from the platform, and not a ton of money, but we're definitely excited to be I just got into the CBD business accelerator, and also going to be, like I said, redoing the whole site to be more e-commerce focused. And so it should be pretty fun going, moving forward.
Nice. I love how you kind of built it as kind of like a content platform, right? A place to get news, a place to kind of find out what's going on, highlights and all that stuff. And you got the traffic going on. You're like, hey, I think we can maybe offer something to this community, right, that they value. And then you started dropping in products. Is that kind of how it went?
Pretty much. I got really lucky. The whole kind of, just to be honest, one of our writers, I have to give her a shout out, Lacey. I told her, I was like, hey, I have this investor. I'm thinking about white labeling some CBD products. She said, you should do bath bombs. I'm like, good idea. I don't know if you guys can see this. One of our boxes right here. It's kind of like
Nice.
that Tiffany's. It's kind of a little damaged box, but you kind of get the idea of like that Tiffany's blue. So I went for like that blue
Nice.
box, and we were really trying to, you know, and all the bath bombs are just dropped in like a little plastic bag, and it just didn't really look good. So we put them in these boxes, and I was just going to send them out to influencers and media, and I put them online, and people were responding really well. Like even my guy friends, like my one friend bought 20, my other friend bought 10. I mean, like these guys are buying like, I don't know who they. I mean, I guess they're we'll call it their family, but I feel like man, the one that bought 20, he definitely has like 20 girlfriends. So
Yeah.
like,
Hey, and some of those ladies are killing it on the gram with the bath bombs. You know what I mean? It makes for great content, right? You know, bathtub
Yeah.
content. You know, it matters.
I'm excited. So we have the bath bombs, and then we're doing some cranberry bamboo 10 milligram face mask. So pretty excited to have the kind of a multiple product array. We'll have 4 SKUs of different bath bombs: oat milk and honey, lavender, eucalyptus, fresh cut roses. So we'll have kind of a few SKUs, and I think with the face mask, the influencers will even have more ability to create content. So that's kind of why I went with the face mask to also to roll out this influencer marketing campaign over the next kind of 90 days, probably once we get the new site up.
Nice. Nice. Well, Scott, I mean, I think you're really, you're going to have a thriving business, obviously the news outlet and whatnot. And I think it's because, you're so friendly. You talk to a lot of people, meet a lot of people. We met Scott on Clubhouse,
Yes.
Which is a new social media app.
At one time, I thought Scott owned Clubhouse.
I mean, it seems like he owns
I was
Clubhouse.
like,
He's
is-
like the mayor of Clubhouse.
is he
at
the
this
mayor
point.
You guys are too nice. I'm getting impeached right now.
Yeah. So quickly describe what Clubhouse is, because I feel like you have a very good understanding of Clubhouse, and then let's dive into like the drama that you're currently having on Clubhouse.
Sure, I'd love to. So Clubhouse, I don't know, like you guys are in Vegas, so you
Yes.
guys understand what the fuck a trade show is, right? Like you've
Yes.
been to, you probably lost count of how many you've been to, right?
Facts.
So have I. Exactly. So you know how to bam, 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 bam. You know how to work that room, right? You know how to maximize value in a trade show environment, right? You would say guys like you understand that concept, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's my approach to Clubhouse is I'm intentional with trying to extract value from these rooms and also give value where I feel necessary, and just my personality. I know I need to adjust my personality. I can be very direct and confrontational, and sometimes that rubs people the wrong way, more so than not. But people who understand that my intentions are just to extract value, bring the right types of people together for high level conversations, they understand my style. I know I need to work on it and be more empathetic for those who don't, but yeah. So that's kind of been my approach to Clubhouse, is just extracting value. And I can't tell you guys too much, but I'll be completely honest with you. I'm getting paid to host 2 90-minute rooms on Clubhouse for some R&D. So, I mean, this all just came
Hey,
about.
it's working out.
Right. I mean, yeah. It's not a ton of money, but I'm happy with what I didn't even seek out the deal. They approached me because they saw my style of directness and the way I kind of curate high level people. Like anytime I've ever seen you guys hop into a room, I've heard you both speak a couple of times. I'm like, bam, they need to get to this fucking stage immediately. And it's like I try to curate. There's a lot of people that are, there for their own agenda, whether it be trying to go from the legacy market or traditional market into the, regulated market. And, also people that have been affected by the war on drugs, and rightfully so. They should have a voice. But if I'm moderating in your room, that's not what I'm there for. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful or racist, sexist, or anything like that. I'm just there intentionally, selfishly trying to extract value. And that's, I'm trying to monetize my time. I mean, you guys have seen me spend an insane amount of time on fucking Clubhouse. But I'm getting paid now to moderate a room, and probably sold, I don't know, close to 200 probably bath bombs over the last month. I've been on Clubhouse for just about a month. So I sold about 200 of our bath bombs, and now I'm getting paid to moderate rooms. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's other people monetizing it, but I mean, this is like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, you're killing it, right? And I mean, just to attest to your point and to kind of agree with what you're saying. I mean, you are a valuable player on Clubhouse, and especially like kind of that app in its infancy. You know, I've been a public speaker. Tony's been a public speaker. We've done panels and stuff, but like when you first get there, you really don't know what the heck is going on, right? And it's been nice to see other people, you know, kind of on the app longer. You know, they kind of take a leadership role and kind of, you know, help moderate those rooms and keep the flow of the conversation going. And you do a great job with that. And I'm sure that's why you know you're getting paid over there.
Thanks, man. And I feel like a lot of people who are like you guys, who are experienced professionals, like that understand. I'm not blind to the fact that I need to work on my communication style. Obviously, this isn't the first time that has been like brought up to me.
Yeah,
it's the part.
I would say though, like we've been in some rooms together, and like you know, you're very direct about like you know, hey, listen, you know, make it a quick intro, 30 seconds, and then let's open up for questions or let's talk about a subject, right? Which I think I appreciate the directness. I know you're from back east, so I'm guessing that's where it comes from. And so it's just like I feel like there's a lot of people from the West Coast on there that are like, no, you know, no, bro, like a lot more relaxed. So I'm guessing that's kind of where you're feeling some of the hate from, bro.
I mean, I brought it on to myself, you know. Like I know that I created this, you know, drama that I'm going to we'll talk about, but my own fucking doing. But yeah, I mean, at the same time, you know, I'm like I said, I'm selfishly there with my own intentional reasons. Like I'm going to do an interview with you guys on my blog because now I'm on your podcast. That was one of the reasons why. That was my intentional reason of starting the room where all of this transpired from. So, like, it's not rocket science. Like I'm not there to hate on anybody's social equity issues. Like if they're in the room and they want to talk about social equity, I want to hear solutions. I don't want to hear people talking in circles about all the problems and how the white man is, you know, to blame for everything. It's just like, I grew up in the inner city of Baltimore. I was a minority where I'm from. I'm not like your average privileged white kid. Like people have this perception because the color of my skin that, you know, that I'm some privileged kid from the suburbs. I mean, I grew up with a lesbian mother. I mean, I spent time mostly with my grandma. I lived in group homes. Like, I had a pretty diverse upbringing. Like, if my grandma and my mom were alive now to hear me being called a sexist, it would be like they probably would laugh.
So let's dive into it. So let's talk about what happened.
Yeah, I mean, So I don't know if you guys were around a few weeks ago. We had a cannabis and e-commerce room. Were you guys in that room at all?
I saw the room.
I think I might have dipped in and out of that room.
Gotcha. So Gary Vee happened to pop in, and yeah. So previously to that, we ran into this girl who used to work at MedMen. Just since they've been calling me out, her name's Elizabeth. So she used to work at MedMen, and she just feels like she's very entitled to have a voice in every room and talk about how amazing she was at MedMen. And, you know, personally, I feel MedMen, I mean, it's pretty obvious they failed. And, you know, a lot of the reason was behind some of their marketing strategies. I think they stole a post from Weed Feed, I heard. I mean, just so many issues. And she's just saying that she works at the marketing department, and just her whole attitude and the way that she was communicating in rooms, it rubbed me the wrong way. And rather than saying what I wanted to say to her, I just removed her from the room because I was a moderator and that's my privilege. And so she's saying I abused my privilege and, you know, I should have removed her from the room. She messaged me telling me that she's going to report me to Clubhouse. So then I blocked her on Instagram. Fast forward earlier this week, I seen that girl in another room. And I removed her again. As soon as I saw her get on stage, I removed her from the room. Just because I didn't want to be around her. Several other people have had the same kind of feelings, and we've talked about it privately. They don't like the way that she is aggressive. They don't like the way that she communicates. She's a know-it-all. And she's just a snooty brat. I guess that's a nice way to put it without, you know, using any vulgar language. She's a snooty brat, like a little child. And so I removed her again. And then Sonia, who happens to actually be the publicist of my competitor, selling bath bombs, Kush Queen. So Sonia, who's the publicist of one of my most relevant competitors, I guess feels threatened by me. And so she spoke up and said I'm basically expressing toxic masculinity by, you know, over-speaking women and removing women from rooms. And then the next day they started this whole room which probably gained a couple hundred people in it at one point for 5 hours, talking about how I'm a sexist and I'm a racist. Everybody in Clubhouse who I've ever kind of overspoke or asked them to speed up their intro or kind of rub them in any way wrong whatsoever. And rightfully so. I'll give you an example. Penny, the chick from Michigan, she takes her bud tenders tips and donates them to charity. I don't know if the tips are actually going to charity, but once she told me that she was donating her tips to charity, some girl who was in the room said, "Are you hearing this right now?" I was kind of like not really listening. So I was like, "Oh my God." I was like, "You got to go, lady. How much are you like?" And then I called the dispensary because I was going to run an article on my website about, how she's taking the bud tenders tips and donating it to so-called charity. And, I'm wondering what kind of car that lady drives, but that's another story. So I removed her from the room, and, any of these people that I've like rubbed the wrong way, they kind of had a fuck Scott party. And, they, made basically a bunch of people unfollow me. They reported me to Clubhouse. And I shared a couple of the screenshots with you from people who were in that room who had my back.
Yeah.
There's plenty more where that came from that I shared with you guys. So I sent all of those screenshots to Clubhouse. I shared the timestamp of the room that they started. And I also had a room the other day where I was able to kind of share my side of the story. So I shared that timestamp also with Clubhouse support. They did get me suspended for like 12 hours from hosting my own rooms. But once I shared all the information with Clubhouse directly with the support team and all the emails that I had from Clubhouse, and I contacted the founders directly. I don't know if they saw it, but I did contact them directly. I contacted the support team. I contacted the suspension team. And within 12 hours, all of their bullshit, bogus claims, obviously they can hear the way I'll say I'm probably an asshole and a dickhead, but I'm not a sexist, racist feminist. Like, those are things that I'm definitely not. I'll say I'm probably an asshole and I need to work on my dickheadness, but I'm certainly not a racist or a feminist. Like, that's crazy.
Stop being an asshole, Scott. Jeez, man.
Just trying. I would say though, I mean, Scott's effective. I mean, in the sense that when I've hosted a room or been a moderator in a room and Scott's been in there, I get a lot more followers when Scott's in there when he's not in there, and so
I get a ton of value out of the whole experience.
Yeah, because usually what Scott will do is, which I enjoy, is that he'll see people in that are just in the audience listening. He'll be like, no, that guy has something good to say. Let's bring him up, and then they'll be like, oh shit, this guy's super dope. And then for example, Adam from New York, right?
Yeah, from Green Lane.
Yeah, bro. That guy, when we got to talk to him, he just dropped so much fucking knowledge, and he was just listening in the audience for probably 20 minutes before you were like, oh, shit.
Dude, same thing. I saw Gary Vee creeping in the audience in the e-commerce and cannabis room. I plucked him from the audience. I stopped everything mid-room, and I said, oh, shit, Gary Vee, get your ass up to the stage. And I was like all hyped and shit that he was there, and he was like, oh, he was like into it. Like, 'cause, he's really high energy too. So and he stayed for fucking 45 minutes.
And like that wouldn't have happened unless you had stopped the room to make it happen, right? Because maybe he got uninterested and he dips out.
Exactly.
It's just people should, maybe just be a little bit nicer when you tell people that you don't like them or, you don't like what you have to say. But keep doing you, Scott. Keep doing you, Scott.
I know that I do need to be more empathetic, and I do need to be more... I need to choose my words better. I know that, but it's just like all this Clubhouse is new, and I'm there like selfishly with my own intentions, and like I know other people have their intentions, and I just need to be more aware of that. And I'll say right now, live to anyone who's listening, if I've offended you, I am truly sorry, and it's not my intentions to hurt anyone's feelings. I just, I'm there to extract value, give value that I can, and like, I'm sorry if my tactics have offended anyone. It's truly not my intentions. Definitely not my intentions.
And I think as an outsider looking in, you've been in rooms with you where you've been direct, I don't ever take it as you're being malicious about it. I think it's a matter of like, all right, we really got. Yeah, but in the sense that like, going back to the trade show model, it's like you're spending a lot of time on there, right? And the same idea, like you're spending like a $500 ticket to go to MJ BizCon. You're there with a purpose. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you're gonna waste, 20 hours a day on Clubhouse,
exactly.
you gotta really make it a purpose.
Exactly. And I feel like I've cracked the code. And like, I wouldn't say I figured it all out, but like, I'm fucking making money on this shit. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure other people are too, but I'm doing it too. Like, it's pretty wild to see. I mean, I'm not fucking getting rich, but I'm monetizing it. Like, and I know I can even do better once I button up, kind of my persona and attitude. If so many people are offended,
Well, and
but yeah,
I think that's key too, right? Like, and I mean, none of us are perfect at the end of the day, right? And at the end of the day, we are white, right? And like, listen, I came up in this industry with no money and not a lot of opportunity. Had to break through a lot of barriers, right? But at the end of the day, my skin is still white, right? And a lot of things are a lot easier for me. And I know how, especially in the cannabis industry, when the social equity topics come up and stuff like that, I have had to. I just have to have more empathy for the situation, right? Because of what some other people have been through. And sometimes they're quick to judge me, right? And it makes me feel like, they're putting me in a wall like I'm racist or stuff like this. But, at the end of the day, instead of coming back with being defensive, right? And be like, oh no, I'm not, because this is who I really am. Like I've learned to be empathetic of the other person that I'm actually talking to, right? Because if I'm sending the messages out, somebody else is receiving them, right? And so for that fact, right, I have to kind of take ownership of the messages that come out of my mouth, right, and how they affect other people. And I think with what you're doing, right, some of those lessons is just makes us better,
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten into therapy. I've been to a few therapy sessions on this app called Talkspace, and I mean, I need a lot, I need a lot of work, and yeah, I mean, I'm not perfect, but yeah, like I said, I'm truly sorry if I've hurt anyone. It's definitely not my intentions. I'm just trying to monetize my time, like I said, and I I can tell you this much. Me being with someone or working with someone, it's only going to benefit them if they can understand my style of communication or my tactics of, kind of the way I navigate. It's only going to benefit in the long run. Like my intentions are only to maximize on opportunities and whether that be, intrinsic value or monetary value. Like that's truly my goals. Like I don't have any hidden agendas. Like with you guys, I'm telling you, like I'm going to write an article about you on my website, and that's why I'm here on this podcast. We're doing a cross promotion trade for everyone who's listening. Like that's how all this came about. Like this wasn't me, getting a chance to apologize publicly. This has happened before any of this shit. So
yeah,
I'm
no,
glad that I did
100%. Yeah, just so everyone's very clear, like he did not come on here to talk about Clubhouse. We came here to talk about him in the cannabis industry. It just so happens that right now Clubhouse is such a dominant social media force for the cannabis industry to make, a great amount of network, potentially get paid like Scott is. And it's interesting because it's like this, it's still in beta, right? So you have to get invited to get in. So I just thought like it's been really interesting seeing people get on, and then like also like when I see people in my contact list when they get on, I'm interested to see who those people are. It's like, oh, who's gonna try to get down on this, right? And
it's
man,
definitely like a social, like experiment, right? Because I mean, like we've all been to panels, we've all been to networking events, right? Like we've all been to public speaking events, but it's still at the end of the day, Clubhouse is that, right? But it's a little bit different too, right? And
it's kind of like a live podcast. Like right now, if people could comment on like what we're saying right now, that's what I feel like it is.
And
they can, right?
Yeah, and then and then also,
I mean, they can comment on Facebook, but I mean in the sense of like if they can verbally like say what they wanted to say, because those two things are very different, right? When you have time to think out a good joke or like a good burn or whatever, it's easy to write that out. But when you're on the spot, it's a lot more difficult.
Yeah, and like Instagram and like Facebook, right? Like most people's reaction to the messages that you put out is like they'll like it or they'll heart it or they'll send like an emoji comment, right? That's about as much reaction as you get.
Yeah.
But when you put out messages in Clubhouse, like people are reacting, they're telling you exactly what they think, straight to your face, right on the bat, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a completely different type of like social media.
I'm gonna be interested to see how Clubhouse like evolves as an app, right? Because it's like, what is version 2 and 3 and 4? And like how are they going to be able to like make money off the app? And obviously it's like ads, stuff of that nature, sponsored rooms, probably they're probably gonna sell time slots that have the highest amount of traffic on the app, stuff of that nature. But I'm just interested to see like what it evolves to. I obviously like the profiles itself could become a lot more intricate. I think it'd be cool if you could save some of the talks, right? If there's a way that you could like download it and put it on your profile or something of that nature. What do you think, Scott? What do you think is like the next versions of Clubhouse?
Let me ask you guys this: would you pay $9.99 a month for Clubhouse?
Probably.
Yeah.
Me too. There you go.
You think they're going to make it a pay to play type of thing?
I mean, that's like the most logical, right? Like
It's
that's
the
the
easiest,
easiest
right?
thing without selling,
Well, I
selling
mean,
out.
the way that I think of it is like, they're building value with the user, right? So you let the user use it for free. So you have more users. So that creates more value for your vendors or your advertisers, right? So I would be a little bit surprised if they put a price tag on it for the user right away. But I definitely see them going in with a price tag on the advertisers really quick.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I'm gonna.
Go for it.
No, sorry. Go ahead, Tony.
I was just gonna say, like, I could see it potentially doing both. Like, hey, it's 99 cents a month, or it's a $2 a month, maybe under $5, so that they can still build the value, because they are bringing a lot of value for the rooms that are there. And then they give free accounts to big influencers to go drop into rooms, stuff of that
Or
nature.
maybe it's free, but to click your own clubs or rooms, it costs a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's probably another way to, like, instead of like the whole subscription model, maybe it's like you pay for certain things. Like I have the Cannabis Industry Networking Club, hashtag Blue Mary Jane. We have, I don't know, just under 1,000 members. It grows about 100 a day. I have like, I don't know, 3,200 followers or so that follow me. So I think that once you get larger followings and larger rooms, like you have this rooms that are structured, you'll be able to charge for, different things on there. Like, I don't know what it looks like, but I'll probably have, I don't know, maybe an hour show with different segment sponsors and kind of ways to monetize that way. So we'll have, people who want to come up and, maybe have a 5-minute discussion about their new vaporizer device or whatever it is. We'll kind of give them a platform, and we'll figure out ways to basically create inventory advertising through Clubhouse rooms. It's just about structuring that inventory and figuring out, the right kind of value to place on it, so that you can kind of sell it to, the potential sponsors and advertisers.
Yeah, I think that's very interesting, and I think we'll definitely see that. How do you think that the founders of the app would think about, like, their users monetizing it on their side without them?
I mean,
maybe they like it.
They love that. I mean, I haven't been into the last town hall, but I probably need to go into the next one. I imagine I've sent them so many emails this week. I'm probably on their radar. So yeah, they have town halls every Sunday, like 9 a.m. East Coast time, I think, something like that. But yeah, I think they said that they want to allow influencers or really creatives as a whole to figure out ways to monetize it, whether that be through tipping. They had one room where the whole entire cast of the Broadway musical Lion King did a performance, and they had their cash apps and things where people could tip them. So there's ways that that they're already planning on it. I think it's just a matter of, they're in beta right now, and I don't know how many users there are. I think maybe just under 2 million the last time somebody had mentioned it, but I don't know how many users there are. And it's just, you guys have been on the app. I don't know, maybe not as much as me, but it struggles sometimes when there's a lot of traffic. It says our servers are struggling. One time it crashed.
I saw that.
Yeah, I was on it. I was on it when it crashed, which was pretty nuts. And I definitely can tell, like, the high surges. What do you think is like the high point of the day? I think like mornings and then right after work, right? Like, or like 5 o'clock West Coast time, 8 o'clock East Coast time.
After the Fuck Scott party, it's hard to say. It was popping at like 2:30 in the afternoon. I'd say probably like what we're doing with some like R&D, the stuff that I'm working on for a client. We're gonna do it at 3:30 Pacific time, and we were gonna do it a little later, but I noticed some of the more popular rooms get started like almost that Friday happy hour, just like going out for a drink. It's the same type of thing. I mean, there's some more business related things that happen during the day, but then as the day goes on, there's more of those happy hour style rooms and a little bit more relaxed. So we're going to try to get some raw and honest feedback for some, opportunities that we have for a cannabis client, and just kind of have a natural conversation. We're not going to record it or anything. But yeah, just trying to get some honest feedback and dialogue going. So we're going to do that in like 3:30 in the afternoon Pacific Standard Time, and I think that's probably a good time if you're looking to do something like that. But if you're looking to have like a party, just think about it. It's just like the times of day you would have. It's just like a trade show, after party, trade show business. Same kind of thing here. I mean, it's no different. I mean, you guys are in Vegas, have been to probably more trade shows than me, so I don't have to explain this to you.
Yeah, no, definitely. I just like hearing what you have to say, Scott. I just like hearing what you have to say. Listen, Scott, we only got a couple minutes left. I definitely want to have you back on the podcast. Obviously, I feel like we're gonna do a lot of more stuff together. I feel like we have a lot of synergies, man. So excited to see where your brand goes. Can't wait to try the bath bomb and the face mask and see how that.
Send you guys some.
Yeah, please. And can't wait to see you out here in Vegas so we can finally connect and put one in the air. Before you go, please plug yourself. Tell people where they can find you, where they can find you personally, your brand, where they can buy the CBD. Anything that you want to put out there. Let's give it to them now.
Yeah, no doubt. Check out bloommaryjane.com. You can check out my Instagram at Strategic Scott. I'm kind of a little more active on there as we're a pretty kind of skeleton crew, with some freelance writers and looking to bring in some PR strategists. But anyway, check out at Bloom_Mary_Jane. That's Instagram, bloommaryjane.com. And at Strategic Scott on Instagram. And again, I truly apologize if my style of moderating on Clubhouse has affected anybody, and definitely not my intentions. I'm just there to kind of monetize my time, add value, bring the right high-level people together like you guys, and do fun things like cross-promotion interviews and host rooms where we're doing some R&D and just kind of figuring out ways to navigate through. I know it's really new and so many people want a voice, and I hope to eventually learn how to be better and show more empathy to those who I've affected. So again, I truly apologize, and I appreciate you guys having me on the show today.
No, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate you, brother.
Man, Strategic Scott, bro.
Strategic Scott.
That was honestly a trip. Like low key, like I know he's like Clubhouse famous right now.
I mean, he
has a lot. He has like 3,000. He's in the past on Instagram.
He's the notorious mayor of Clubhouse.
Yeah. We should honestly. His new nickname is Mayor Clubhouse. But listen, we went to fucking LA these past couple days. How was that?
California's amazing. Looks like we're gonna find a home there.
Hopefully, dude. It looks like we're gonna lock up a deal in end of March, beginning of April.
Bring on the negotiation process.
Yeah, let's get it started.
It looks like it's gonna be pretty easy though.
I feel like we're gonna get in there. So California, we're coming online soon.
Yes,
Southern California, and then we'll work our way up. Central Valley, Northern California.
Yeah, region by region.
But yeah, what else? What else we have going on?
I mean,
I'll be in Reno next week, actually, so I won't be here.
You'll be in Reno. You won't be here.
I will not be here. We'll be remoting in.
Nice.
I don't know where I'll be at.
We got Chronic to wear next week.
I'm missing Chronic to wear.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a good one.
Dang it!
Oklahoma's amazing.
I thought he was coming. I thought he was coming in 2 weeks from now.
I don't know. It could be. I have to check the calendar.
Don't scare me like that, bro. Do not scare me like that. Okay. Well, that's great. Next week I'll be in Reno. So if anyone's up there that wants to connect, please let me know. We're gonna be producing some. I'm gonna be producing some content. I've been trying to get Chuck to come, but he's telling me no. Maybe if I show him this video, he might come. But other than that, I'm doing a couple pop-ups up there. So come check it out. Come get some free food. Come buy some weed. What else?
I mean, Oklahoma's amazing. We got some fresh, full flower drops coming out there in Oklahoma. So it's kind of phase 2 of some of our products getting dropped out there. It's going to be amazing.
I'm excited.
We have products are rocking and rolling here in Nevada.
Correct.
Listen, 3 markets. It looks like we're going to be in before the first quarter of this year.
Hopefully 2 more by the end of potentially by the end of Q1.
Yeah, and that'll be basically 11 markets to go.
Yeah. Crazy.
That is crazy. So
we'll just keep rocking and rolling. But that's it. That's the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I'm one of your hosts, Full-Time Tony, here with JC Coates. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Peace.